Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones. They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones. Not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Play it again. I want to hear it again.
Not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Now, look, I understand because of all the amazing damage control that gaming journalists have been doing this morning that, hey, technically Phil Spencer didn't lie about Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation 5. In that quote, he was simply talking about the 4 titles that they had already planned, 2 for the Switch, 4 for the PlayStation 5, such as Sea of Thieves and Grounded. So technically, he really didn't lie. And you know what? I don't even necessarily want to talk about the impact of Indiana Jones coming to the PlayStation 5. I've already talked about that 2 days ago before it was even officially announced and kind of my stance on it. I know there are some people that disagree with my stance on that, but until proven otherwise, I think great games sell consoles. I think exclusives are good because it gets you into an ecosystem of a console. I mean, hell, I'm buying a MetaQuest 3 to play Batman, so obviously, you know, maybe my sort of take on this is a bit different than others, but I don't even necessarily want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the absolute distrust that people are now forming against Xbox with this situation because of very bold statements like Phil Spencer just made. I understand he technically wasn't lying, but I think we can all agree on one thing. I think we can all understand one thing. This wasn't a spur of the moment decision. When Phil Spencer did those interviews talking about games coming to PlayStation 5 and, oh, it's just 4, Indiana Jones was already being developed for the PlayStation 5. When we have a few month turnaround from the launch of the game on Xbox on December 9th to a spring 2025 release of Indiana Jones for PlayStation 5, this isn't some sort of magical port. This has been known for a very long time, for literally years. And instead of just being honest with people, instead of just being upfront with people, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, they all just decided to lie about it. This is a problem that they themselves have created. This is a problem that they themselves have, established as something in a manner of distrust. When I first talked about Xbox bringing other games to other platforms, one of the things I said was you are hurting customer trust because now there's always going to be that feeling in the back of an Xbox gamer's mind. Well, is this actually an exclusive game? Is this just coming to Xbox? And I think it extends kind of beyond just Xbox gamers. If you're a PlayStation gamer, if you're a Nintendo owner, you're looking at these games that are being announced and now you're like, well, maybe these are coming to my platform too. And if it was just those 4, at least in the first year or two, I think maybe that feeling kind of would have gone away. But no, it's not that. One of the biggest games for Xbox in 2024 is now coming very soon to PlayStation in 2025. I keep seeing all this sort of stuff that Phil Spencer is running a business and he's such a businessman. I saw Major Nelson, Stolen Valor Major Nelson, comment on my tweet asking, what are we doing here, Phil Spencer, about bringing Indiana Jones to PlayStation 5 a few days ago before it was officially announced. And Major Nelson got in my Twitter replies and said, he's running a business. Now, first and foremost, Major Nelson, I don't you have some Xbox games with gold games to shill? I know you don't work for Xbox anymore, but you remember when you would try to hype people up for those Xbox games with gold stuff? Why are you running Defense Force for Phil Spencer here? The Xbox brand is doing numbers because of things like the Activision Blizzard merger, because Activision is making them a lot of money. From a business perspective, sure, there is money coming in. Xbox is thriving. I made a video about it. I'm talking about the perception of Xbox as a brand, because if you pee on somebody's leg and then tell them it's raining, they might believe you the first time, but if you continually do it, why are you peeing on somebody's leg? That's really weird. I feel like Xbox is just very tone deaf with this situation. This morning, they actually released a new trailer showcasing the new variants of the Xbox Series X and S systems. You know, the thing that they say that they're very steadfast on keeping around, even though, you know, they're putting games on other platforms. They're making it so you can just stream stuff from your television or to your television via, you know, an Amazon Fire Stick and stuff like that. They shut off these new systems, and it's like, why? You know, who are you trying to reach with this? What are you actually trying to do? Now, obviously, Game Pass is a big part of Xbox's, you know, business philosophy, but we have seen that Game Pass, as far as new subscribers is concerned, has topped out. And that's not a dig on Xbox or anything like that. Nintendo services have topped out. PlayStation services have topped out when it comes to these subscription services, because you're only going to be able to reach so many people with something like this. There's only going to be so many people that are genuinely interested in this. And while games like Indiana Jones and Call of Duty will, I think, help things like Game Pass sales, at least temporarily, is it enough for them to stick around? And more importantly, is it enough for people to want to buy an Xbox to get Game Pass? I'm someone who already owns an Xbox Series X. So yes, I will enjoy Call of Duty on, you know, Game Pass as far as the multiplayer is concerned, because fool me once, shame on you on that single player. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yes, I will play Indiana Jones on Game Pass because I'm already set up. I'm already one of your customers. I'm already involved in this whole thing. But as far as outside customers are concerned, what's the benefit? You know, is Game Pass really going to be worth it for some of those people? The average person who just buys, you know, 1 or 2 games a year? I'm not quite sure about it. And I just keep coming back to the misinformation, the misdirection, the you know, silver tongue Phil Spencer. And I just feel like at this point, like as far as your console audience is concerned, your Xbox fans, because there are fans of every platform. There are PlayStation ponies, the Nintendrones, who are just, some of them are absolutely crazy, and your Xbots. I feel like you have now alienated your dedicated fan base, and maybe that's what you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to get rid of these diehards that you would invite to these events and go out to lunch with and hang out with and do photo ops with this very bizarre, because no other company that size really does things like this. But building these parasocial relationships where people feel like they can trust you, people feel like they are friends with you, and then for you to kind of walk back your word, change what your mantra was, change your whole ideology. Like, I just feel like, you know, there has to be a significant reason for that. There has to be a significant reason for you to want to kind of move on from this experiment. You can't really say, yeah, God, there's so many things I can say. I honestly felt like, you know, this year was like, it was kind of like the finally year. It's like, finally, Xbox is doing good stuff. Go back to that presentation. I loved that presentation with games like Perfect Dark and Fable and stuff like that. But now there is that cloud looming over it. Well, are these games just coming to Xbox? Do I need to buy an Xbox to play these? As far as a console thing is concerned, because obviously PC is a different beast. But do I need an Xbox to play these? Or are these games also going to come to other platforms? Because now there is that doubt every single time. I feel like you almost managed to quell it a bit with those 4 games. But people told me in the comment section on my video, they're like, bro, they're going to do more. And I was like, I don't know. I got to take Phil Spencer at face value here. It seems like these are just the 4. They're going to analyze the data and then maybe in the future kind of, you know, assess different things. But clearly this is a plan that has been in motion. Clearly Indiana Jones was always coming to the PlayStation 5. It's just a little bit of a early access for Xbox owners. So really they can work out the kinks and the bugs in the game. And then the PlayStation owners will probably get the definitive thing. Look, I'm a multi-platform owner, but if I was only an Xbox owner, if Xbox was my main console, I would not be very happy with the direction of the company. I would not be very happy with the double talk and the silver tongue and really the flat out lies that are being done with the Xbox brand, the misdirection, the what is our focus, the lack of direction, I should say. The what are we focused on? Are we focused on consoles? Are we focused on games? Are we focused on buying companies? Are we focused on Game Pass? What is it? I think at this point in time, now is the time to establish what you want to do. You can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none because it's obviously not working. You've been trying that as far as your optics are concerned, and I understand. Buying Activision Blizzard brought in a lot of money to the company, but money's only going to go so far in this. At some point, consumers are going to get tired of the double talk. And I think yesterday was definitely the first sort of, real sort of blow that people are going to be like, hey, something's up here. Something seems a little bit fishy. Can I really trust this company? Should I be buying this platform? Is this platform going to be something in the future? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough to say. There's people that don't care. There's people that want console exclusives to die. They think it's an outdated sort of mindset. And, maybe it is. But I think it's an established mindset. You buy a Nintendo platform to play Nintendo games. You buy a Sony platform to play PlayStation games. You buy an Xbox to do what? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, though. How are we feeling about this? Do we think that this is the right move to start, bringing bigger titles? I do understand that Indiana Jones, it's not even necessarily about Indiana Jones being the game, because I almost understand that with the Disney property and the licensing of Indiana Jones. My problem is with the double talk. My problem is you knew that this was happening. You knew. But you chose to tiptoe around it and then drop it out of nowhere instead of trying to, embrace people or trying to have people brace for impact with this. You knew damn well, Phil. You knew damn well. And Major Nelson, get out of my Twitter replies. I don't like you. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Very, very interesting. Very unprecedented times. But it is fun to talk about. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Like the video. Dislike the video. I don't really care. People sometimes disagree with me on stuff. Later.